So I started thinking about this like I think it was like a month or two ago, but I thought about like how big of a cheater I was in high school, and it's honestly really absurd. I think I put more effort into looking like I did the work than actually like learning the material that I should have just been learning. I don't know, man. I do remember when we were in high school, you did say that you were like a bit of a cheater, but I don't know to what extent you were, dude.
Yeah.
I have to like say I was insane. Like I thought about this. Like I thought about so there's two projects that stand out to me. So in sophomore year, there was like we had to write an essay about like a topic that we were passionate about. And you have to like interview like a quote unquote expert, I guess. Like you don't have to
Yeah.
actually go meet like an industry person. Just go meet somebody who like knows a lot about whatever because you're a fucking sophomore in high school, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I gotcha.
So I made up a person.
You made up a person.
Yes, I made up an expert. And
All
then
right.
I just used like what they said is just everything that I knew.
Okay. So what I'm appalled by isn't even okay. That's like whatever. The thing I'm more taken away by is the fact that it's been almost 3 whole months since we've uploaded an episode, and this is what you've been itching to to talk about.
Actually, yeah, I thought about it 2 months ago. I have all my best ideas when I'm at work when I'm stocking the fucking specifically when I'm stocking the cream cheese. That's when it comes to my brain.
Dude, what
ideas.
the fuck?
It's usually either when I'm stocking the cream cheese or the shredded like cheese. I don't know why. Something
and
about it.
welcome back to the Where We Feel Safest podcast, dude.
Yeah, welcome back. I'm not done yet either, by the way.
This fucking god. Yeah, go ahead.
The other instance I want to talk about. So my senior year was wild. It was really easy, like way easier than I ever thought it would be. And I took an AP class. This is like the only AP class that I think I like passed with like a good grade. And it was all bullshit. It was AP stats. So I never did any of the homework. Like actually, I never actually did any of the homework. He like my teacher posted all the answers like in a document online. So I would just copy all the answers from the document and like make it look like I did the work. Like I'd like write stuff down and like erase it. So it looks like I actually tried to do the work. And then it came to
back,
our one of our last projects like for the semester. We had to like carry out a survey about like anything. Just statistics, whatever bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what the rest of it was, but I think I only partially did it. I think I posted like a poll on Twitter, but then you need to take I think you need to like ask like 2 questions, whatever, from like different groups of people. So I couldn't just post another poll on Twitter. So I wanted to be like at least partially like legit. Except the second part, I completely made it up.
No,
and I completely lied about how I conducted this poll. Like I lied and said that I like went to the mall and asked people. I didn't fucking go anywhere. I stood inside and I posted a tweet.
Well, who's gonna prove you wrong, dude?
Exactly. And I turned in the project maybe like 2 weeks late. I still got a C on it though.
Hey, nice.
But everything, the whole process, all like the data, pretty much almost all the data, completely fabricated.
Hell yeah, dude.
I passed that class with a B.
What's crazy is I remember you posting that poll to Twitter like fucking years ago. I don't remember what the poll was. Or,
I don't fucking know what it was.
I don't remember like even vaguely what it was about, but like I completely forgot about that until you just brought it up. Like I remember you were like you like tweeted a question in the form of a poll, and you're like like parentheses or whatever. You're like, yeah, this is for a project. Like don't question this. I was like, wow, that just took me way back. Like I fucking forgot about that. I was in the moment, bro.
Yeah,
that's.
I don't know if I should be like proud or like ashamed of how like the extent I went to not do my work.
With how much of what we put our time and energy into in school, like with how much of that doesn't really amount to anything in our real lives, I wouldn't feel bad about it. I never feel bad about it. Like you said, I did mention before in conversations before that like yeah I did cheat in high school. I wasn't like always fucking cheating. Like I did have original thoughts in some classes. I didn't cheat much or at all, but if
I forgot you actually did good in school.
Yeah, for whatever fucking reason, I don't know why. I was kind of like an A-B student.
There's absolutely no reason why you did that good with how much you gamed.
Yeah, no way. Like I was like an A-B student like all the way throughout middle school, and then in high school I fucking did like I busted my ass to get straight A's for like absolutely no reason. Like it didn't benefit me at all. Like I'd be in the exact same spot I am now, but hey,
yeah.
Fuck it. But no, like I did like cheat in ways that were like not like major. Like if I was like, oh shit, I forgot to do the homework. last night, yo, dude, can I see your paper? And I just, can I borrow your homework, but like, make it look legit. Like, yeah, it's like kind of like that thing. I kind of rarely cheated on tests or like anything more than that. It was kind of just like smaller stuff.
Yeah.
Because for the most part, I did understand the subjects that we're studying in whatever class it may have been, but I was just lazy, and my biggest battle was like getting myself to do the work rather than like understand it, I guess.
I just don't understand how you managed. I don't know, man. Like, even with all of my cheating and all of the corners I cut, I still was a barely passing student.
I don't know, dude. I mean, maybe my school is like a little bit more lenient than yours. It might not just be me. It could just be the circumstances of like my school. I don't know. I wouldn't like think too deep into it, because with how much I gamed and how well I did, I don't think it's because I'm some fucking A class fucking genius. I think maybe my school is just easier.
My school was definitely a bit rough. Like they really took pride in like their AP program and like their academic like achievement stuff like that. So
hmm
I don't know. Maybe it was a little bit rougher, but also I might have just been really lazy and slightly stupid.
I don't think that's the case. I mean,
Well, maybe
I was
not
really
stupid, because everything I did was really elaborate. So I'm not stupid. I'm just, I don't know. I put a lot more effort into areas that maybe I should focus elsewhere.
Yeah, no, I was really lazy. Not even in high school, like just like in school in general. Like in the 1 year of college I was cutting corners and fucking procrastinating and doing things last minute. And I wouldn't say like doing the bare minimum, because I still like for the most part kept A's in and like that 1 year of college I did, but just barely. Like I for the amount of time I put into the work I did, I definitely should not have been getting A's. But I have an amazing ability to bullshit and get things done quickly and still do decent. So. Yeah, I take pride in that at least. But I mean, hey, okay, since we're fucking, I guess I didn't plan to like even do this until I just realized it now. Since we're already deep diving back into our high school lore, Euphoria, bro.
Yeah.
God damn. Spoiler alert, I guess, because we're probably about to spoil the shit out of season 2 of
Well,
Euphoria.
I'm sure by the time this is out, it's been a little bit since the finale. So
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
It's currently airing. It's the biggest show on television. If you're not watching it, you're not watching it. So it's
But yeah,
whatever.
anyways, if you're not caught up on Euphoria for whatever reason, you should go watch it. But I mean, yeah, spoilers ahead probably. This is a show I didn't think I would enjoy, like at all. Like if
I didn't
on
think you would
paper,
enjoy it at all, honestly.
yeah, like yeah, on paper, if you told me what it's about, with like this group of high school kids struggling with various things like substance abuse and like typical like friendship and relationship drama, and like in certain characters' cases, fucking legal trouble, whether it be like from drugs or other things. Cal, I'm talking about you. I didn't
Yeah,
think.
the show covers like the worst of like the worst things that can happen to anyone and everyone.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, I guess, is that these topics, on paper, I don't really like. Typically, I'm not really that interested in them, but the first episode sucked me in. I was eating that shit up after I started the first episode. Like, it's just so good. I don't really have that much I want to talk specifically about in Euphoria as far as like themes and messages go, because I mean, I'm gonna say probably what everybody else on the planet will say. Like, it does a very good job at expressing the things that young people in our generation excuse me, are going through, especially with like substance abuse, because that's becoming more and more common nowadays, I feel like. And I think it's portraying high school and like teenage years in a way that shows the darker side of what some people's lives may contain, and not just a typical like innocent like high schooler. And
Yeah.
I think that's good. I think it's good because especially like older generations might not think people our age or like around our age have any struggles or things of that degree going on in their lives. But I mean, some people do, and I think it's a show that brings attention to that, which is good. And there are some things and some characters that are fucking annoying. Yeah, of course, there has to be. But man, I really like the themes of the show, and how it demonstrates like what kind of consequences your actions have, especially with Rue and her substance abuse. About like towards the end of the show, we started seeing throughout like the effects of her substance abuse. Like it was more than just surface level. Like at the end, I think towards the end of season 2, her mom revealed that her little sister Gia started doing bad in school and was like going to the principal's office a lot and was just acting out a lot. So I mean, that's one of those things that Rue didn't pick up on at all throughout the show when she was like fucking taking hard drugs. But it's like those things affect more people than just herself. And I don't know. I'm starting to ramble on because, like I said, I'm just gonna say what everybody else would fucking say about the show. But it's really good. It's really good. It touches these topics and expresses them in a way that's like really entertaining and interesting. And I also think it's like really important to put attention to this stuff.
Yeah, I really like. I know people usually use melodrama like as like a criticism, but I think it's what it. It's a really fuck. I think it's a really positive aspect of the show because obviously like older people are gonna be like, oh, it's just so stupid. Nobody like talks or acts like this or reacts like this, but like you kind of did. I mean, like there's a very big generational disconnect, like because
Yeah,
obviously
sure.
like I don't know because obviously we're kind of lucky in this case because we're early 20s. We weren't teenagers not that we were teenagers not that long ago, and we
Yeah.
do remember when like things mattered the world to us when in hindsight they weren't really that important
Mhm.
and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
definitely.
And it's like I don't know. It's like do older people like I mean I don't know. I guess they just don't remember what it was like to be young. I guess because it is kind of what it was. You did kind of feel like you were in a fucking movie all the time.
Yeah, definitely. Like older people will like follow these. If they were to watch Euphoria, they'd follow some of the characters and events in the show and see something that makes somebody really emotional or just have like a big impact on or something would have a very big impact on somebody, and they might think like, oh, what the fuck? Like this person's exaggerating. This person's stupid. Why do they care as much? But like, I'm sure if if something like that happened to you when you were a teenager, it would probably matter a lot more than it does to you now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people lose sight of that, especially like you were saying, like the older generation might not be able to like see things through the character's eyes like we do, since we're still pretty close to their age. But yeah, also I I ship Fexy. I really hope Fez and Lex get together in season 3. That's all I'm saying. It
True.
needs to
Oh my
happen. It
god.
needs to happen,
Yeah.
bro.
How do you feel about the finale? Like what? How do you feel about everything?
Thank fucking God. Rue didn't get back with Jules and like decided that that she like they're just not good for each other. Thank fucking God she came to that conclusion. Jules was like pissing me the fuck off towards the end of season 1, all the way up to the season 2 finale. Like
See,
that shit was getting
I feel like
frustrating.
there's not enough Jules slander. I feel like she's just not a good person at all.
She's a
She's just
snake, bro.
she does a lot of horrible things and then doesn't. It's like she's surprised when there's consequences,
Yeah, it's just like surprise Pikachu face when she
and then she
sees the
plays like
effects it has.
she acts very innocent. And there's still a really fucked up thing that she did that still wasn't revealed. That that she fucked Elliot, and they even had like I don't know. That's what hurt. Like during that scene when Elliot was like playing a song for Rue, and like I was
Yeah.
like please say something, man. And he
Yeah,
didn't.
dude.
It was a really
That's
nice. That's a really sweet scene though. Like I love that scene a lot. But I
it was
do wish
it was really nice.
I do wish he was at least a little bit more honest with her at the end.
The main issue I have in that like love that fucking weird triangle, especially but like particularly between Jules and Rue, is like they're goddamn they're the opposite of transparent with each other. They keep so many things. It's not just Jules. I mean, Rue did the same thing. She wasn't like being honest about her drug addiction, and she was lying about staying clean and all that. But that's something that Jules Jules knew going into that relationship that Rue had problems with substance abuse, and like she was just having a really hard time and going through that. But how was Rue supposed to anticipate like at all like all the lying Jules was going to all the lies Jules was going to tell her, and all the things she's going to do behind her back and do shit like leave her when she was at her lowest, like that. She did a lot of shit that really really frustrated me.
Sucks. It was such a toxic relationship, and it sucks because like obviously like when you get attached to people and stuff like that, you don't know why it happens. It just kind of happens, and
Yeah.
sometimes you get attached to really toxic fucking people, and you don't want to
Yeah.
believe that they're bad for you, and
Mhm.
just I don't know. I'm glad Rue did realize that, but
Yeah, I think throughout the relationship, Rue didn't realize the Jules was like really bad for her until the end.
and maybe it's kind of a good thing that she never finds out about her and Elliot because right now she kind of left. She cut ties with them like on good terms, you know. It's
Yeah,
like leaving them all on good terms. And if she found out, it'd probably be very different.
actually, I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but like them having sex, wasn't that like quite a while after Rue cut things off with Jules. Like, wasn't that like after a little bit of time had passed?
No, is when she went to go get the drugs from Lori.
Mm-hmm.
That's when Jules and Elliot fucked, like right like minutes after they were all hanging out together.
Honestly, bro, I fucking I watched that show way too fast. I watched the whole thing in basically like 3 days. So I'm some of the time, like the times of the events are kind of blending together. So that could be me misremembering. But so if what you're saying is true, then she cheated on Rue twice
Yeah.
with the Anna girl and Elliot. That was crazy, dude. I thought
Yep.
Elliot was afterwards.
Nope.
Damn. Yeah. Okay. Jules is even more trash than I thought. God damn, bro.
Yeah, it's
Fuck
really
Jules.
messed up.
Yeah, that's really really bad. But on to more important matters. Ash is a fucking idiot, man. I don't know why Ash did what he did. Like
Yeah, that was rough.
that. Like I know he was a scared kid, and he wanted to go down fighting, and that's what he's done his whole life. He's always fought. He's never like ran away from things. But like I don't know how Ash was expecting that to go. It's like the police had busted them, and there's like no way out of that. You can't be like a fugitive forever, even if he did somehow get out of that situation. I just really wish, because like no matter how that situation went down, even if Ash was cool and didn't do anything, Fez would have faced quite a lot of jail time for possession of drugs. They probably had dirt on him for selling drugs as well, and taking the heat for the murder of Custer, I think his name was. Fez either way was fucked, but I just really hate how he took all that and then had to lose basically his little brother in the process. That was really sad. That was
Yeah,
like really fucking sad.
It was really. I think Ash was kind of he's kind of been cuckoo since first episode of the season, because mind you, he hasn't said a word of dialogue since like episode
Yeah,
one of like
dude.
the first season.
Dude, yeah, I forgot that like he wasn't even fucking talking. Like there were so many like uncomfortable scenes of Ash just staring somebody down and not saying a word, and just getting closer to them.
He's
like,
been
sitting
dead
down.
silent since the beginning of the season, so I think I think the whole thing with Mouse and everything that he saw growing up really messed him up.
Yeah, bro, tweaking.
That's why he has like that fighting mentality.
Yeah. No, my jaw dropped. Fucking at the scene where he killed Mouse and his goon, and then in season 2 where he killed Custer, in the last episode or second to last episode, whatever it was. Yeah, that was fucking crazy. Ash has done some crazy shit in this show. I really wish, even if he was gonna go out, I really wish it wasn't in a way that was so painful to Fez, because I actually really like Fez as a character.
Yeah.
Because he's one of those people that like honestly one of the few people in the show, I feel like, who does things for other people and not for themselves. Like when Rue after she got out of rehab and wanted to go to him to get more drugs and shit, and he saw what it was doing to her. I mean, he could benefit and sell drugs to this girl, or at least like have her owe him money for his drugs, but he absolutely refused, no matter like all the harmful words she screamed at him and personal things she threw at him to try to convince him to
And it was things that she said, the things that she was saying that were kind of true, because like, he is a hypocrite.
They
for
were
being
kind of true.
a
I
drug
mean, yeah, he is a
dealer.
hypocrite. He does like really benefit off of selling drugs to kids. Yeah, I mean, it may have been true, but despite all the hurtful stuff she threw at him, he realized that was like really fucking her life up, and he didn't give into it, and he did what he knew was right for her, even if he would benefit doing what she wanted to do. So I think that's one of those things where like all the other like almost all the other characters in the show are just like put themselves before anybody else. Like if Fez had that same mentality, he wouldn't have looked out for Rue like that, and he would have just done things for his own benefit and fucking let her OD again, or like whatever she wanted to do. But like to do that, like, and then turn around and say, like, whenever Rue is apologizing, turn around and say like, yeah, it's not personal. Like fucking people who do drugs say that shit to me all the time. I don't like believe none of it. Like that's like he keeps it real. Like I really like Fez. He's a great character, and I hope that we get to see something from him in season 3, and he's not just behind bars and we never like see him at all. Like I hope he has a part in the next season.
I agree, because the season finale was like, I expected it to be a disaster in some way or another, but it was just a disaster for him. So
yeah,
I need to see him. I need to see him smiling in season 3.
Me too, dude. Me too. Honestly, I was kind of surprised to see the Cassie and Maddie shit kind of like settled at the end of the episode, because they were standing together in the bathroom and Maddie was basically like, oh, like she said, she was like, this is just the beginning, talking about like Cassie's
Relationship with
interactions with
Nate.
Nate, like yeah,
Yeah.
like all that shit. She's like, oh, it's just the beginning, almost in a way, to tell Cassie that she relates to her and she almost feels bad for her or something, rather than like, oh, I want to kill you, bitch. I was like kind of weird to see. I thought they would be at each other's throats for a while. So
I mean, but Maddie, she was also impacted by that woman she worked for, who like told the same story about like how she cheated on, like she fucked her friend's boyfriend or whatever.
that is true. Yeah, that I kind of forgot about that. Maybe that screwed her mindset a little bit and made her a little bit more
Just like
forgiving.
maybe like it's not worth it to dwell on that because you're just you're just a kid. You're
Yeah,
gonna get older and shit like
yeah,
that.
yeah, definitely. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else that went down specifically in the finale that
Yeah, I wanted to bring
that
up
one?
uh, before we move on because I don't want to spend too long on this
Yeah,
topic for people who
yeah, of
don't
course.
watch the fucking show. Uh, what's called what happened with Cal? What would you think about that? What do you think about his
Oh,
ending?
dude. So okay,
So okay, so by the way, it was confirmed. We had a conversation about this a few days ago in Discord with Jazz about
yeah.
how whether or not he was a pedo. He wasn't. I don't think he wasn't
Yeah,
because
we had this conversation briefly before. That's it. We don't really know
but he is getting arrested
if
for child, for
yes.
CP
So
because he did ask Nate like everything, and I'm assuming that's what he means, like including the
mhm.
Jules one.
Yep.
So
Yeah, so my thing is, if you remember, he asked Jules how old she was, and she said 22, and he thought she was of age, and that one was one of those things where like, yeah, he can still fucking felony, he'll still get in trouble for it, but I don't think like he in that's like in the Jules case, he definitely didn't know what he was doing, and I wish it gave us a little bit more information because with all the other people he's had sex with, like I'm sure some of them looked really young when it was going through the like cutting
yeah,
through the
that's
scenes
what
of
that's
him
what I
fucking
really
people.
thought. So I thought so too.
So, some of them looked really young. So like I don't know if Jules was the only one. If Jules was the only one, like maybe like yeah, he just made a big oopsie and he might not be a pedophile. He might not have done it if he had known her actual age.
Yeah,
But some of the other people he had sex with were really young, and that just it was really weird seeing
I
like
just feel like in that moment when Nate was like exposing him in front of like all those people, or whatever, in the warehouse, like I would
mhm.
have figured he would have said like, oh yeah, my dad went off and recorded himself fucking hookers and and kids, you know, but he didn't. Like all he said was hookers, so I think maybe they
I don't
were
know.
of age.
I don't know whether okay. The thing is though, that's irrelevant to my opinion because whether he knew the people who some of the people who he was having sex with were kids or not, I still think he's
Maybe I'm overthinking it.
no, it's okay. It's okay. No, you're fine. You're going into details, and I think they're pretty
Because obviously
important.
it could be,
But
because obviously then Cal does get arrested, and I'm assuming it is because of Jules' video.
yeah, yeah, I'm yeah, definitely Jules. At least Jules was. If there's more, Jules was like one of however many. But regardless of if he's actually a pedophile or not, my opinion on him is still the same because it
Oh,
is
he's still a piece of shit. He's
it is
so fucking
still
horrible. He
it
ruined his
is
family's lives.
yeah, dude, it is fucked up like beyond like words can explain. Doing like having a double life like that and completely keeping it from your family and doing stuff like that, like that is something that's like that's fucking crazy. Like, how does he sleep in the bed with his wife while he does that shit? Like that's like his night job. Like that's so wild to me. Like he ruined his family over it. He hasn't been nurturing his kids enough, and he sees firsthand how those choices impacted, especially Nate. Now Nate's like really angry and really even his mom basically calls him a fuck up in one of the
Yeah.
episodes towards the end of the second season. Like she calls him even more flawed than Cal, which is like fucking crazy. And I'm glad the show acknowledges that because his actions definitely impacted his family, especially his kids,
Oh, it's
particularly
definitely
Nate.
Nate is definitely way more fucked up because I feel like Cal knows what he is. Nate doesn't know what the fuck he is. He's still learning that.
Yeah,
Like
for
it's
sure.
like the whole thing with his sexuality. He's still learning that, and
Yeah,
led to
yeah.
him
So
doing
like,
a lot of fucked up shit. But
mhm.
he's just
but
trying to
my
figure out who the fuck he is.
but my thing is like Cal doing that. He should have known the consequences of his action and what that actions are, and he should have known what that does to his family. So I mean, I think what he did is extremely fucked up. Even if everybody he had sex with was of age. So I'm glad he's going to jail. Fuck it, dude. He's a bad character. Was he interesting and like entertaining to watch on screen? Definitely.
Yeah,
But
very
for
interesting.
But if we're talking about like morally and like what I think is justice, and yeah, he got what he deserved.
Yeah, that's like the most intrigued I've ever been in like someone so horrible.
Yeah, because he's such a bad person. He does all these bad things and has had sex
But
with at
he's
least
not
one minor adult.
entirely. He's not like a villain, really.
Yeah, yeah, he's not really a villain. But like at the same time, when the scenes he has with his family and even Nate, he's really calm, collected, and he acknowledges the anger Nate has, and he regrets his actions and how they've affected his family. And he almost seems like kind of wise, but at the same time also a piece of shit, you know.
Yeah, and he faces the consequences, the appropriate consequences.
Yeah,
And
so yeah,
I wouldn't mind if that's the end of his arc.
honestly, same. I wouldn't mind either. But if we see more of him in season 3, I'm cool with it because he's very interesting. Whether he's a good or whether he's a bad person or a fucking like a fucking terrible person like he is, or a good character, I still think he's entertaining and interesting to learn about and see more. Especially the flashbacks of his teenage years when he was with his friend what Derek, I think it was.
Yeah, like I was
Yeah,
actually like
same.
I was happy for him, like seeing him
Yeah,
like
same.
before everything.
Yeah, before he was like tied to a family, and we could see how he was in his youth and everything, and how that transformed and like made him who he was today. Like, yeah, that's pretty cool. But like I kind of agree with you. If that's the end of his arc, I'm cool with it. But also, if I see more of Cal, I'm also cool with it because he's interesting to say the least. Even if he's a piece of shit, he's interesting.
Yeah. And to move on from Euphoria, before we spend too long talking about that, I do want to talk about some other media we consumed, which is music, specifically the new Bad Omens album, which
Oh,
I'm
boy.
super stoked on, and I'm so
Dude.
excited to see them on tour with Under Oath and Spirit Box Straight from the Path next week. That's gonna be a fun show.
Yeah, no, I'm really glad you brought up the Bad Omens album because that's the first one I was going to bring up as well. Depending on what comes out throughout this year, that might be my album of the year. It's so cool, and what's even like more interesting is that this is only the band's third album, and the sound progression they've had over these few years and in these few albums they've made is fucking crazy. Like, I just the structure of all these songs is, I don't want to say to not, it doesn't apply to every song, but the structure of like a decent amount of the tracks on this album is like less predictable than traditional like metalcore songs and stuff they've released in the past. It's really creative and innovative, and the production was really punchy, and they had so many cool sound effects. I'm not gonna try to use fucking music terms because I'm an idiot and I'm just gonna embarrass myself, but there's just a lot of different things they experimented with in this album, and it's awesome. And even vocally, Noah Sebastian, the singer, he does a lot of different types of singing, and his songwriting on this album was also really good, and everything was just like, it seemed so genuine, like they found their sound. Like this album is Bad Omens.
Oh yeah,
And
everything
it's
around
fucking
like
awesome.
everything surrounding this album is like they're so confident as musicians. Like literally, like, the majority of this album is not metalcore at all. There's like
Oh,
like
it's not,
two
no.
metalcore songs. It's just like one of them was a single, and like the
Yeah,
rest of it is
Artificial
just
Suicide, and I think the last song maybe.
the rest of it's super experimental.
Yeah,
And I found it interesting too because when I first saw them like performing like live, I think they were doing like some festival dates, whatever, and they opened with "The Death of Peace of Mind." And I was like, wow, that's really fucking bold. Like they're
Yeah.
like opening with the new song, and they're like going full into the aesthetic, and like they're just like, yeah. And the fact that they put this record out sounding the way it does as their third record, and you compare that to how they sounded on the first one, it's like, wow, these are really confident musicians, and it's really paying off. Everybody's like, I feel like everyone's noticing.
Yeah, I'm really happy that they went that route because I think this album is fucking fantastic. And shit. What was I gonna say? Dude, I totally had something on the tip of my tongue there, and I forgot it. It was definitely Bad Omens related. Maybe I'll remember it in a few minutes. But no, this album is absolutely amazing, and I'm glad that they didn't feel pressured to do like what's expected of a metalcore band, and just got creative and did what they wanted to do. And like a lot of people are comparing Noah's singing this album to like some pop artists with some of the singing he does, like The Weeknd and like Post Malone and shit. Like you wouldn't think, hearing the singing in some of the songs before like the instrumentals kick in, you would not think it's from like a metalcore like post hardcore band. But hey, there you go.
Of course, and like of course they get like the the comparison to Bring Me the Horizon, like a lot they have since literally their first album.
Oh yeah, it's uncanny. In their debut album, it's uncanny. It literally just sounds like Sempiternal.
Yeah, literally. But I mean, it was still good, and it showed that they know how to make some good fucking music. And I
Yeah.
feel like even now that's like still present. Like even there's like 2 tracks on this album that I feel like are literally just Bring Me the Horizon songs, but I don't mind them. They're really really good. And I don't know.
I'm kind of I'm curious. What songs do you think are Bring Me the Horizon like?
I don't want the money and Miracle,
Yeah, I can agree with that. For
especially
sure.
the vocal delivery. Like pretty much through and through, like through both those tracks. I feel like he sounds almost like he's trying to sound like Ollie Sykes almost.
Hmm. Interesting observation. I didn't like think of
It's not bad though.
uh
I think it's fantastic. I think he sounds amazing.
Oh yeah, of course. I didn't really like that thought didn't cross my mind when I heard those tracks like it did with their older songs, but I can definitely see that because their voices can be similar at times for sure. But I know we've talked about it vaguely in text, but there's a few songs that on this album that really reminded both of us of old Too Close to Touch, which I fucking love. Their older excuse me, their older sound with their albums, what Nerve Endings and Haven't Been Myself. Those
Yeah.
like those albums, I don't really go back to them and listen to them that much, but there's like a few songs on each of them that I still to this day fucking would never skip. And when they come up with my playlist, I'm like, oh fuck yeah, it's
Oh,
a
yeah, I
banger.
love
There's
those like those. I love that sound so much. It's like there's still like aggression to it, but
yeah,
it's like a fucking soaring pop song.
yeah, it's great.
Like if those guitars were tuned just like a little bit higher, they could be on like fucking Kiss FM, like on the biggest radio station.
Yeah, for sure. Just because of the like the similarity in that kind of sound, like from like a band like Too Close to Touch with their older music, for example. Like I really like a couple songs on this album. I think Just Pretend is my favorite one. Honestly, I think Just Pretend is my favorite track on this album. I'll go and say that now. But
I love Take Me First and Like a Villain. I love the choruses on this entire album. I think that's like the best. Like I think that's the highlight.
oh yeah,
So good,
yeah,
so
no,
catchy.
the choruses rip. They're so catchy. Yeah, I think Just Pretend, Concrete Jungle, and the title track, Death of Peace of Mind. I think those are probably my top 3 from this album. But the only songs I really like even skip like the interludes or the ones that are really stripped down and don't have many instrumentals going. They're kind of like meant to be like the purpose they serve isn't really like to just like jam out to it as an intro song. It's to lead into something else or just to give you like a little bit of a break from all the pounding, But
Yeah, I actually quite like the interlude that goes into Like a Villain.
Like a
song
Villain,
What It
yes.
Cost.
I
Yeah,
fucking
really like
love that
that.
transition, dude. I fucking love that transition where it strips down at like all the sounds at the end of that track. I think what it costs is what it's called, and then it just Like a Villain just like fucking explodes. Like that song. But that song sounds like 10 times better if you if you let it start after the interlude. It's so good, dude. I fucking love it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's one of the best uses of an interlude in like a
Yeah,
metalcore
it's so
record,
good.
honestly. And I think I'm pretty qualified to say that because I listen to a lot of metalcore.
I
So
listen to okay, so I'm in a similar but not so similar position. I listen to metalcore all the fucking time. I listen to a lot of metalcore,
except
but
it's been the
a lot
same
of the
band
same
for the past
metalcore.
5
Yeah.
years.
I listen for the last like 5 years. I've listened to the same like 6 bands, dude.
There's nothing wrong with that though. I still kind of do that. Like I eventually go back to like a lineup of like 3 or 4 bands and just play like their greatest hits
Yeah,
until
but
like new stuff starts coming out, and then I go full nerd mode and I want to dive into everything.
yeah. It's pretty rare like a new album comes out nowadays, and I listen to it more than once. But Bad Omens, I'm really glad were an exception to that. And this album made me go back to their previous album, Finding God Before God Finds Me, and listen to some of that, and made me remember how nice of an album that was. So I'm really glad that this album finally like made its way into the year because I absolutely love it. And Era, that new Era song, well, like new Night of Silence, that song,
Oh, that song is so good. I
beautiful
honestly I had
song.
that one on repeat for a while. I don't
Yeah,
think
I
I
think
listened to the newest one.
yeah, there's a new Air song that came out last week, but I haven't heard it yet. But Night of Silence is going to be part of their deluxe edition of their self-titled, I think. That song is like one of the most beautiful fucking metalcore songs I've ever heard, dude. That song is so good.
Oh my god, I gotta bring up that tour with so that is no longer happening. The one that was gonna be with Census Fail. We came as Roman's counterpart and See
Oh,
Space
yeah.
Cowboy.
Yeah.
what the fuck, man? That tour was gonna be so sick. I mean, I wasn't gonna stay for Census Fail, but
Yeah,
I was
if
going
I
for
were
the rest of the bands because See You Space Cowboy. They've recently like shot up to like one of my top metalcore bands. They're so fucking good. Their
I've never
album,
listened to them.
their newest album, The Romance of Affliction, is incredible.
Damn, dude. Yeah, I've never listened to them. But what really bothered me about that whole situation with the tour being canceled and all that wasn't even like the fact that it got canceled. I wasn't even planning to go to the show. But what like annoyed the fuck out of me is that it wasn't a supporting band that dipped out. It was a headliner. It was Census Fail, and Buddy Nielsen, the singer, finally put out a statement a few days ago on the Census Fail Twitter, and a big excuse he was putting in there was that like him and his wife were expecting their child soon. He wanted some time away, in that time period to be with his family, which sounds completely like fucking valid when you put it like that. But he's known about his kid for
Yeah, it's
fucking like what 7-8 months now. Like he's known that this is gonna be a thing.
It's like, you've had like 7-8
but
months to do this. This tour was announced and like all booked like 3 months ago.
yeah, no, he knew what he was doing, and he was just using it's like pretty fucking, in my opinion, like pretty low to use family like that as an excuse, but he just used it as an excuse to dip out of the store because there was probably something better to
Yeah, it's
to
very
jump into a couple months after.
very fucked up. It only screws over everyone on the tour, especially counterparts, because they're from
Yeah,
fucking Canada, and
yeah,
the
and
whole
they don't
border
think, I don't think
situation has been
they've
a mess recently.
yeah, and they've only been on like one tour since the pandemic, right?
And they're taking fucking Brendan away from Kuma.
That's a worst offense, honestly. God damn, that's fucked up.
He's so fucked. And it's okay. I mean, unless they schedule something after this end tour, then he's gonna be back with him sooner than he would have been originally.
True. Yeah, that considering what?
Oh, considering that the counterparts tour is not happening anymore.
Yeah, that situation was annoying. It almost made me remember the, was it Census Fail that was headlining?
I remember. It was Census Fail, The Amity Affliction,
and Bad Omens.
with Bad Omens and some other band.
Yeah,
And
like they were making fun of Bad Omens, saying they dipped out because the text for their band name was too small.
yeah, they spun this whole false narrative that Bad Omens, like there was fucking articles written about it, like slandering Bad Omens' name, like when they're like 2 years into their fucking career.
Yeah, but like I'm pretty sure they were just being treated like shit by the headlining band, and they weren't being taken seriously, so they dipped out of the tour, and they used that stupid like false reason as a way to throw heat at Bad Omens. But they were fucking chads, dude. They came out and made a fucking t-shirt with their logo tiny on it, just to make fun of Census Fail. That was so funny.
Yeah. Shout out to Bad Omens, man.
Yeah, I love them.
They've come so far.
Yeah, for real, dude.
Also, Census Fail, I don't know. Fuck you.
True. But there is some music I'm looking forward to in the near future. Crown the Empire in the last few months put out a couple singles, both absolutely bangers.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Dancing with the Dead and In Another Life, I think, with Corny Plant on there. Both those songs are absolutely fucking fantastic. For Crown the Empire songs, for Crown the Empire, I really like it. There's a lot of Crown the Empire songs I really like, but I typically don't really jump to click on a new Crown the Empire album or single or something, but like those two songs are fucking great. The change their sound to going back to I don't want to say to their roots, because it is innovated and it is more intricate than like their like old stuff, but it's gotten chunkier. It's like chunky levels are like the same as like old Crown the Empire, and they got heavy again, which is pretty sweet to see. I was cool with their sound like a few years ago when they put out what was it album called, like Retrograde or something. Like they don't even have to be heavy for me to enjoy them.
Yeah.
But they got fucking heavy again. And I'm cool with it, man. Those two tracks are really good, and I hope they have an album in the works like sometime soon.
Yeah, I'm down with it.
Yeah.
And also, what the fuck else did I mention? Oh yeah, have you listened to any of the Memphis Mayfire singles over the course of the past year?
I have not. No.
Well, they don't sound like butt rock anymore. They kind of just sound like how they sounded in 2015.
Oh, are they back? Are they back?
Yeah, I mean, for better or for worse, I don't know.
Okay,
depends.
that's good.
It depends on the listener.
I fell out of love with Memphis Mayfire because of that that sound they got like a few years ago. It was just like a lot different from their older stuff, which isn't always a bad thing. But it really didn't click with me, and I kind of stopped listening to them.
Yeah, Matty Mullins got pissed again, so
that's great. That's amazing.
He's screaming on tracks with breakdowns and shit. It's cool.
Yeah,
but
dude.
mean, I don't know. They're kind of just like, mm, they're good tracks, but like there's nothing like incredible about them. I feel like I don't know.
Nah, I'm a simple man. If it's metalcore and it's good metalcore, I'll enjoy it. Even if it's fucking generic as hell, I'll still love
Yeah,
it.
that's why I say they kind of sound like how they sounded in 2015, like super generic, but like it's all right. Like you can listen to it.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
definitely.
yeah, but yeah,
Also,
it's
Monuments
fun.
collabing with Mick Gordon twice is pretty fucking pog. That's pretty sweet.
What's that about? Like they're gonna be doing like a whole album with him? What's that about?
I that Hey, dude, I know just as much as you do. That's all. Like, I heard that was the thing. I don't know if that's completely true, but I mean, hey, where he said it, so it must be true, right?
Maybe. Well, he actually follows that band, so
Yeah. So I mean, if that does happen, if there is like an entire Monuments album like produced by Mick Gordon, and they even have him like in for some of the songwriting process, that's fucking sweet. That's really good. And I guess I get on the topic of collaborations, fuck, Bring Me the Horizon and Ed Sheeran collabing was not what I was expecting, but it's pretty fucking fire.
yeah, that was pretty cool. I actually like it.
Me too. I enjoy it a lot. They finally put out the studio version on
The live
Spotify. Can
version's
we
so
do
much
something?
better.
You think so?
Yeah, so much better.
I enjoy both. I don't really have a preference. I enjoy both a lot, but I didn't really expect Ed Sheeran's voice to sound uh like that good over like metalcore, like a post-hardcore sound, because his voice, I've only heard it in like Ed Sheeran songs where it's just poppy, but it sounds really really nice with Bring Me the Horizon. It was a pleasant surprise for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Although I'm not really too surprised that his voice worked well because obviously I listen to so much metalcore and so much heavy music, and
Yeah.
there's so many different types of voices across all those like this entire genre. So I've heard a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, I could definitely understand that, but I mean, hey, it's a jam, and I really enjoy the Bad Habits collaboration with them. It's really catchy.
That's what I'm saying, man. We got to get like Billie Eilish over like a Sleep Token instrumental.
Hmm.
That would be crazy.
That sounds really good, actually.
I only say that because the singer from Sleep Token, he did a cover of a Billie Eilish song, and it sounded really good.
That guy's voice is something else.
Oh, yeah, I've been like when that album, their second album, this place will become your tomb, came out earlier. Was it last year? It was last year, I think. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
it must
last
have been
year.
last year. Yeah.
I wasn't like, I mean, like I was really hyped for the release of it, and then when it came out, I kind of didn't listen to it that much. And then I think it was like a couple months after, I just like, I don't know, I had it on repeat like nonstop, and there's still like two or three tracks that I have on repeat like all the fucking time. So good. I love that band. I need them to come to America like immediately.
Yeah. Honestly, there isn't that many like new bands I've been getting into lately, but I do this thing a lot where I come across like a band I discovered years ago, or like I really enjoyed years ago, that I haven't listened to in a long time, and then I'll listen to their stuff again, and I'm like, damn, this shit's fire. Like a few months ago it was with Ice Nine Kills, and then shortly after, I took a deep dive into Current stuff again, and
All right, that's the
I
best
still
thing.
love.
You just go back and you throw on an album you haven't listened to in
Yeah,
a
dude.
minute, and you're like, dude, I listened to some good music.
Yeah, for real, man. Like the place I feel safest by Currents, which is what the podcast name is inspired by, still holds up like extremely well. And their album after that, The Way It Ends, is just absolutely fantastic. I like it even more, honestly. That album grew on me a lot. That their work is fantastic, and like I'm always coming across these bands I listened to years ago, and then like finding them again, and just it's almost like I'm hearing them for the first time again. Almost, it's really weird.
I forgot who I went through recently. It was Counterparts. I went and listened to the
Oh
difference
yeah,
the difference between Hell and Home, and I had actually not listened to that album before,
really.
believe it or not. Yeah, so I listened to it
I
in its
forget.
entirety, and God, I'm in love with Witness, and that's one of their most
Honestly,
popular songs. But that song is just out
hold
of
on.
this world.
I only know Counterparts albums by album cover. I don't know. I don't know like the actual.
It's the really artsy one.
Oh, is it the one with the Compass? Yeah, yeah. This album's good. I don't know, remember that many songs from it, but I just remember Compass. That song is like maybe my favorite Counterpart song. That song is so good.
Witness is easily my favorite Counterpart song ever. Holy fuck,
Really.
everything about it. It's
All
so
right, I'm
good.
gonna have to give it a spin after we're done recording then, because if you think it's better than Compass, then I gotta throw it on.
All right, so
But yeah.
anyway,
Hmm?
what's happening soon in the lives of us?
Oh, phew. Oh, I'm glad you asked. AX 2022 with the boys. We're all gonna be meeting up again this July in California. I'm really happy for that.
No promises. I thought about it. I thought about booking a studio for us to record in person, but we
Oh,
gotta see. We gotta see. Maybe.
oh yeah. I,
It's a
I
big
forgot
if.
we were like talking about that a while ago. That and I like completely forgot about that even being an idea. I'd be down. I'd
Yeah,
be down.
like
I don't.
I already found a studio that's like in Hollywood. It's like they charge by the hour. It's fully
Yeah.
produced, and like we could even pay extra, and they could even do video. But I don't think we'll do that. Probably just do audio.
Yeah, I remember. I think you linked me that one before. Like, I remember we like talked about it, and you had linked me a place. This was like months ago, and I just completely forgot until you brought it up now. But that's pretty cool. I think when we're like maybe a couple months out, like maybe in like May or something, we can look at it and see like what's available because that'd be pretty cool. I'd like to record in person. That'd be a pretty sweet
Yeah, the one
thing.
I did look at had like 4 mic setup, so it could be like I already spoke to Robert about this. Robert said he doesn't have an interest in being on the podcast,
Oh dang.
but so it would probably just be you, me, Jim, and Nick.
Oh yeah, yeah,
All
for sure.
returning guests, but we'll all be on at
Let's
the same
go.
time.
Yeah, that'd be pretty fun. Yeah, that sounds like a fun time. We can definitely do it. It's definitely a fun idea. We can see what's what in a couple months when it gets a little closer. I'd be down for sure. Recording a podcast in person is something I've wanted to do for like for a while, but you know, we all live in like different fucking states.
Yeah, and the one time we had the opportunity to,
We're
I
both
don't
too
know.
lazy. We just didn't
Yeah,
want to do it. We just laid there and existed and fucking did our own thing instead of recording a podcast episode.
it'll
We're
definitely be
fucking
different when we're together on vacation though, because we'll be doing stuff and we'll have stuff to talk
yeah.
about.
Yeah, I think like whenever we're in LA, especially since it'll be a group and not just like not just you hanging out with me. It's since like it's a group of like all of us together. I'm sure we'll want to like talk about more things.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to that though. I can't wait to hang out with the boys again.
And anyways, so before then, hopefully we'll record at least one more. Hopefully before then.
Honestly, it's not. I don't even think it's hard for us to be consistent with this. Well, I don't know about you, but personally, I'm just really bad with like I don't know exactly how to say it. I'm like really bad with managing my tasks because like between streaming and like editing videos and like also doing the podcasts and fucking like doing real life shit, like it's just like a lot of different things, and I'm really bad at making sure I get all of them done. And
Yeah.
podcasts and like lately videos have been those two of the main things I've been leaving out. Which I mean,
Yeah, my last
I
public
got
video
room.
was a year ago.
I got room for improvement. All right, I'm not perfect. I'm working on it.
Yeah, I had no growth in the past year, so I got to do something about that this year, like big time, especially because I know that I'm stuck here for another year in this state.
Yeah.
So I got to figure something out, man.
Yeah, streaming has been going like decently well for me. I'm still like steadily gaining followers. Like a year ago from today, I think I was at like 200 something like ish followers. Like I don't even think I was at 300 a year ago, and now I'm about to hit 600, which is pretty nice. But my YouTube is kind of stagnant because I've basically been uploading like one video a month the last 3 months. I was doing weekly uploads for like 6 or 7 weeks when I first started like actually doing YouTube videos, and I came back from that one like little California trip with my family because for my cousin's wedding. I came back from that, and my motivation just dissipated. It was gone. I don't know. I just didn't want to make videos after that. It was so weird.
It happens. This sounds crazy, but you should probably like hire somebody to edit stuff for you.
The problem I have with that is it doesn't take me long to edit videos. The thing it takes me the longest to do is to go through my stream footage and go through like my recordings. That takes the longest. But like once I have all the highlights and have them downloaded and everything, I edit videos pretty quickly. Like I don't even think it would be worth it for me to hire an editor. I just need to be more productive with like going through my content and like getting what I want. So it's weird. I had a formula going before, and it worked. I was doing weekly uploads, but I just fell off of that. I'm trying to get back on track with it.
I don't have a formula whatsoever, and I need to figure out one because what I'm doing is not sustainable, clearly. So
You'll find what it is eventually. Like I found recently, I'm catching up on all the like the recent streams I haven't gone through, and I found that like I used to always think like, oh yeah, after I stream, I'm gonna go through the VOD like of what I just streamed, so I don't have to do it tomorrow. But by the time I end stream, it's late and I'm too tired and I don't feel like doing it, so I just never do it. But now I realized instead of going through of like the current VOD after the stream, I'll just go through the previous day's VOD in like the afternoon, and then before I stream, I'll I'll do it. So like basically, I'm going through the previous day's footage instead, and then I'm streaming. So I'm not leaving something till the very end of the day, and then I usually
Yeah.
get it done. And like, I think it's just more of making sure I have the energy to do it, because if I'm like, yeah, I'll do this thing at like fucking 5 a.m., I'm not gonna want to do something at 5 a.m. I'm gonna want to go to sleep. So
I think I'm just realizing with the content that I want to make that I can't be a one man team because
really,
there's so many steps to it, and I'm not good when I'm presented like mm, when I'm presented with all these tasks to do
hmm
and knowing that like how long it's gonna take, it just overwhelms me, and then I end up just not doing it any of it. And I know back when we when we you and I were heavily involved in like the Call of Duty scene, I felt the most productive when I was like in a leader position and I had somebody else like leading
yeah,
alongside me, because somebody to like bounce ideas off of and stuff like that. And like transitioning to like trying to make the videos I make, it's like just as like a one man team, it's very very difficult.
that doesn't like hearing stuff like that from people. It isn't like a big surprise to me, because we all have our own unique creative minds, and some of us some of our creativities sustain themselves, and we're able to turn our ideas into whatever content we want on our own. But then other people, like you said, need to bounce their ideas and their creativity off of like other people, or like through certain filters, and then it becomes a thing. So that's probably just like part of your process. And like damn, it sucks if you feel like you can't do it on your own, because I know you find joy in these kind of things. If I was still an anime geek, bro, I would hop onto that uh chasing perhaps shit right away. Or yeah, chasing perhaps. I was about to say roaring tide, but that's your fucking Twitter
That being
account, which
said,
I'm
the
too tired.
biggest department I need help in is the writing department. I have I don't know, because there's so many. A lot of the time that I spend trying to write is usually me writing some stuff or getting like a couple paragraphs in, and I'm like, who the fuck cares? And I delete it. So
Dude.
that's the problem. I don't know.
Oh man, yeah. If man, I'm telling you, like, if I was still an anime geek, I would collaborate with you on that. But I just, man, I don't know, bro.
It's fine,
Anime,
man. You got your thing
anime.
going.
Suki Contra is gone. I think he's gone.
Well, Suki Contra's gone in general. Suki's gone.
Rip Boza.
God, our Call of Duty team.
Rest
That
in peace.
that's gonna be a fun story one day, like years down the line, where we talk about how we all peaked in high school because we played Call of Duty.
All right, Grandpa, go to bed.
What do you mean?
No, like when we're saying that when we're fucking old. Like, all right,
Oh,
Grandpa, go to bed.
yeah, that really sucks. Like I used to think like I didn't peak in high school. Like I think like I didn't peak yet, but I did peak in high school. I peaked when I was fucking 18 years old, Suki Segra, leading the sniping team.
All right, bro. Somebody needs to take away your microphone. This is hard to listen to, bro.
Oh, fuck off.
I'm
It's
joking,
like
man.
out of the
I'm
five
joking.
people
It's a
listen to this,
hobby.
only like two get it anyways.
True. I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's a hobby that you enjoyed, so there's nothing wrong with it. It just sounds so strange hearing somebody say that, because people usually don't like. It's like one of those weird things where people in the COD community play COD and enjoy playing COD and making like montages or videos and stuff, but you'll never hear them like talk about stuff like this on the podcast, or to like non COD friends. So it's so weird for me to hear that stuff said out loud.
Yeah, it's just that was my creative outlet for a long time, and
Yeah.
like I always saw it that way. So I
Yeah.
don't know. It
I mean,
probably means a lot more to me than it did to some other people, or than
I,
it does to a lot of other people.
yeah, yeah, and that's completely okay. I mean, even though I haven't been playing COD for a bit over a year now, I did like learn one really cool thing that I'll like always appreciate my time in the COD community for, which was editing. Like, not just like simple editing, but like learning how to sync and like actually like use effects and make things look smooth and like presentable and easy to watch. That's a skill I learned through editing fucking Call of Duty. And even if I don't play or edit Call of Duty anymore, I'm always gonna look back at that and be like, yeah, I'm happy I got involved in the COD scene, like, and I picked up like a skill like that. It's cool.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but my my brain's kind of static right now. I think I've rambled on about like everything I
Oh
wanted
yeah, I think I've used
want to
up
be
all of
annoying
my
about.
social bandwidth. At
Yeah,
least all of
same.
my content social bandwidth.
And you know, this whole time, since we're sitting in a Discord call, every time you start talking, I see the buffering symbol on the anime
Oh my
graphic profile
god.
start turning.
Perfect.
It's been in my peripheral vision this whole time, and it's caught me off guard a couple times, and I almost laughed.
Good. Cuz that's my brain. When I speak, I'm constantly processing on the spot.
Yeah, dude, you fucking it's like sound like Einstein or Socrates in your head, and then we start talking. It's just the most dumb shit ever. Like, but that's what I like. That's what I feel like I am all the time.
Yeah, like I feel like someone who hasn't podcasted in 3 months.
Same, same. I feel rusty as hell, but I hope it wasn't too bad this time.
All right, then I guess we can wrap it up then. I think we exhausted all of our topics and all of our all of our social bandwidth.
Yeah.
All right, see you guys next time, whenever that will be. Hopefully sooner than later.
Yeah, hopefully soon. Thank you guys for listening. We'll catch you in the next one.